What's been like the reaction or response from the community when you share with them like, here's our strategy as a company, here's the
Mm,
evolving business model of Airbyte? Like, what's the typical reaction from members of the
yeah.
community?
I mean, to be clear, that was a reaction based on feedback we got from the community, which was, I want to use Airbyte. I've tried to use other open source project for integration that didn't work. Why should I believe that Airbyte is going to work? And at that point, transparency is important. And after that, it's like, what kind of, like, what people don't want is to have what happened, for example, with like project like Singer and other, which is you have a connector somewhere, you try it, it doesn't work. It's like orphans connectors. So what kind of incentive structure can we put in place so that we can continue to grow with the community while also giving more control to the community on how, well, on the life cycle of these connectors, and how can we also engage them more into the company and our business model. And so that's why like this new model, this new contribution model is so important. It's like we want to make sure that community members who work with Airbyte, who create connectors, have an incentive to maintaining these connectors over the long run, so that we don't end up with often connectors that don't work, because people just want a connector to work. That's what matters to them. And so that's why that's what we're building right now. It's like, what kind of financial model should we putting in place, and how do we want to like create that like positive dynamic? And it doesn't mean it's just for individual contributor. It can also be for data agencies, or it can also be for vendors, like creating new revenue streams for this type of organization in exchange for SLA, bug fixing, feature improvement, etc., etc.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting because I know you had mentioned that like a lot of different entities that have tried, and I may not be able to speak specifically to the DSR, Michel, so please jump in. But like, I think the scale of a lot of people's solutions here are around the hundreds, and that I think like the ambition is like, or the need to be able to solve the long tail solution is to be in the scale of thousands, and that this is a way to help create like the full step like spectrum of connector solutions.
Yeah, exactly.
One more quick question about community, Michel. Do you have any like, if you had to give one recommendation for anybody who's considering incorporating community as a key part of their business strategy, is there like a number one lesson you would give people that you've
Yep.
learned from building the data engineering community?
It is not a side project. You have to invest a lot of time into it. Our engineers at Airbyte, they spend a significant amount of time working with the community. It's not just something that you say, I'm going to create a community and you hope that things are going to go well. No, you actually need to invest in it. And it will take you, and by investment, it can be either you create roles around it, or it's about time that you're spending. It's not magical. You don't create a community without investing in it.
Jerry and I can like raise the roof. Yes, that is the truth. It cannot be a side project. I love that insight.